60. That's
That's the golden years.
yeah.
We live? We Eating presents the Free99 podcast. Be sure to follow us on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Instagram. Search FREE99 podcast. Be sure to listen, like, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to sponsors We Eating, the F4 Clothing Company, the F4ClothingCo.com, MD Video Productions, possibly you. Email us, askfree99@gmail.com. I am the good homie Gus, customer service. Phil in the building.
What up?
Mono in the building.
All right.
Episode 60.
610.
Episode 60. And special guest for episode 60. I want the man Evan Lester of Adapt Clothing. AdaptClothing.com. Hey!
What's going on? Thanks for having me.
AdaptClothing.com. So I'm gonna paint a picture of these things real quick. Because the first time I met you, me and Phil used to do these dances with the Daly City Park and Rec.
Oh, yes.
Daly City Park and Rec. And then this was MySpace era. So
Was it that long ago?
It was that long ago. It was MySpace era. Like MySpace was the social media. I remember reaching out to a bunch of clothing lines, you know, and then Evan hollered back, and then he set up, and it was the first time we had actually vendors at the teen dance. And we had you in a room, and you went to me like, "Hey, dog, you think we could open up the room to like the dance floor so people can see we're here?" And I was like, "Genius idea, guy. I'm sorry, I was so out of my mind." I was like, "Yeah, let me get that for you." So we opened it up, and then, you know, it wasn't. He even says it was like it was an all right night, and the designs I remember at your booth, one stuck out the most because I seen it a lot was the Giants SF with the pigeons on it. Mm-hmm. That's classic.
Or the SF State of Mind.
Come on.
Because I bought that one.
Yeah. Come on.
Appreciate the support.
Come on. That was like that was my first intro to you, and then segueing to that was like seeing you on like Karma Loop.
Yes.
Oh,
Karma Loop was big. Very big.
Paint us a picture of like how you started in this industry.
Yeah. I mean, you want me to start like way back from the...
Please.
Okay, yeah, it's a long story. So, man, it's nice that you mentioned that though, because I really, like, I don't remember what I sold there. I barely remember. There were so many vending events that we used to do back in the day, and it's a totally different thing because, you know, the vending versus like having the online store, it's just such a different hustle, you know, so.
Even storefront.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Completely different. So, yeah, but let's see. So I knew that I wanted to do clothing back in high school.
What high school did you go to?
I went to Armio. So I grew up in Fairfield. I don't know if you guys are familiar with
Armio.
Fairfield. 707.
Mr.
So,
Miyagi went there.
Exactly.
Did he really?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's where Paloma went. Talk about this. That's where Paloma went.
Mr. Miyagi.
Oh, Paloma, okay,
out
for
of
sure.
the-
Oh, I didn't know that actually. That's crazy. Yeah, so Fairfield, great town, love it. So grew up out there. The flatlands is what they call it. So, yeah, it was good. So I came up with the name Adapt during a science class, and I was just doodling these little triangle shapes. And if you look at the word adapt, it's so it's like the A is kind of a triangle. If you look at uppercase D, it's kind of a triangle. So it was the only word I could spell with these shapes, and so it just became Adapt. And so I ended up going to UC Davis because they had a fashion design program.
Where my dog's at?
Exactly. Bring him in.
We got DMX outside.
So yeah, just so went to UC Davis for fashion.
Straight up fashion?
Great school.
What'd your parents say about that?
Yeah, you know, so my parents very supportive. They
don't get that.
didn't really care what I did as long as it was
Not getting into trouble.
not getting into trouble, and ideally would have a financial component that I could live off of, right? So, but you know, they probably weren't super thrilled about the art thing, but they didn't let me know. They didn't outwardly tell me. So I felt like I had their support from that standpoint. But so yeah, went to Davis. It was a good school. It was crazy because I was in the fashion program, and you know, with fashion, like there's sewing, there's patterns, there's all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
And I literally, the first day of my first class that was kind of within the major, which was this sewing class, and I looked at the sewing machine and I was just like, I don't like sewing. This is not for
Like
me.
you actually took a sewing class.
Yeah, there's actually a class where you cut out the patterns. You would learn how to use the machines and
Cut and sew.
exactly.
For all the fashion whores.
Which of course.
So what?
You know what I mean? For all the snobs.
Exactly right. Cut and sew. I mean, that was 10 years before we ever touched cut and sew. So,
Yes.
and it was like it was crazy because obviously you're gonna assume, okay, you're going into fashion, you're probably gonna have to sew. And I guess it just never occurred to me that I didn't like it. So I went over to there's a student advisor. They kind of help you figure out what you want to do with your career and stuff. So. And that was actually the last day to switch the majors. So I talked to her and she's like, well, you could do visual design, which is graphic design.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything about graphic design. And I said, hey, this sounds interesting. I'll do this. Switched over and yeah, that was it. First couple weeks of class, loved, using Photoshop, Illustrator, all that kind of stuff. And
Better than sewing.
I mean, so much better than sewing. I mean, it's just leaves him, it was like it's kind of my lane, so.
Yeah.
But having that, like, looking at that sewing class, like, and I'm just talking about fast forward a couple years, in when the company's more established, you look at it like this is really some shit now. Like you seen the broader picture.
Yes.
Behind just silkscreen or DTG. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, it's like, it's good to have an understanding of it, but I never delved into it that much. I mean, as far as I got was I had to sew my own neck labels in, right, for my shirts. So
You did that?
I did, yeah.
Woo!
All through college, like it was me and my roommate. She just helped me. Like we would just sit, watch episodes of Lost or something, and just sew tags all day long. So it was crazy. But
You ever buy the handheld one? You know what I'm
I
talking
didn't
about?
do the handheld one. I've seen them
On the infomercials?
Yeah, we had it like a legit. It was like is it Husqvarna or whatever that brand is? It's it was a legit sewing machine, but. Yeah.
Husqvarna. Yeah,
Exactly. I
my
think it's
mom
like
was
Swedish or something like that.
I only know Sunbeam.
Yeah.
Sunbeam Solid. There's Singer. Singer's the classic,
Singer,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So I can see you guys don't do much sewing as well. So
I got this hand. I got these man hands.
yes.
I can't thread a needle for
Yes,
shit.
they're too.
I staple my
bulbous.
pants when I want to hem them.
Exactly.
Or tape.
Hey, I'm doing the the old roll,
Pegging?
like the old, yes, the
There you
pegging.
go.
Thank you.
What, rubber band?
No, he said
No, it's
pegging.
the
Pegging
actual
thing.
peg roll.
I
Yeah.
rubber band because
Classic.
all my pants come too big.
Dude, this was like, I think this was like 3rd or 4th grade.
Yeah.
Like when we
I was
used
in
to do
grade
that.
school when you used to peg your pants.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Or tuck your socks into your pants. Oh, tuck your pants into your socks. Y'all ever do that?
That was when I used to break dance.
Well, I just
Had to have
want
that free flowing for sure.
I just want to look like I break dance.
I couldn't let mess up my up rock and then get tripped
Boogaloo
up.
shrimp, real boogaloo shrimp of you. So, high school, what brands did you look up to then? Like,
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
that was like, oh, fashion. That's what I want to do.
Yes, so Alphanumeric was number 1. Are you guys familiar with that brand?
Very much so.
So I'm half white, half Chinese. So the purpose, I mean, the meaning
Jewish.
behind that is, yes, Jewish, exactly. So
Okay.
I do shit.
I don't know what that means. I just throw it out there.
honestly, I don't really either. We did celebrate Hanukkah. We would get the extra gifts, which was great.
Amsterdam's my dude, though.
Yes,
So,
yes. Other than that, is pretty much like a tradition
Rob
thing.
Schneider, same cloth.
But same cloth.
I
Cut
do
from
see
exact
the
same
Asian
cloth.
glow coming out right now.
You see the glow? Yeah, exactly. And there's actually a Jewish glow, so it's
Is there really?
so I get the double. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Double impact.
You shining right now.
Jean-Claude.
Just glad this is not a video podcast.
Oh,
as
yeah,
well,
we
so-
do. Oh, sorry, it's right there.
Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna. You can do that editing. You got that. Take out that red.
We'll put this here so it looks like it's just glowing off of there.
Alphanumeric.
Yeah. So Alphanumeric was number 1.
Uh-huh.
I was completely obsessed with that brand. I still am to this day. I still collect.
Are they still around?
Even to this day. No, they're not.
No?
I just collect like the
Yeah.
vintage stuff. So, but their whole thing was that, I'm mixed, and they were a skate brand, but they emphasized minorities within the culture. So,
Within
typically
the skate culture.
right, and so
Oh,
typically
word,
within
word.
skate culture, specifically at that time, typically a Caucasian sport, right? So, but they had black riders, they had Asian riders, they had everything, and they kind of mixed skate with DJ culture, with car culture. So
they were all over.
they kind of were all over the map, and they were kind of the precursors to the whole streetwear thing. So, so it was them. It was LRG for sure. Wearing the hat right now. their first few seasons, their graphics were crazy. So
LRG.
yeah, it was super crazy. So them like Fresh Drive, and then there were also brands like
Woolwear.
I mean, I was into Stussy, I was into Massimo, like all the stuff that was at PacSun, Mr. Rags, all that stuff. So
Massimo, remember when that was a Target run for a minute?
yes,
That kind of broke my heart.
It was sad.
People didn't know because like their logo was the same, so it's just like a throw up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when I
Right.
seen that at Target, I was like, what?
So I was into them when I was probably 13, 14 years old. So that was earlier. But yes, probably when I think I went to college, that's when they did the whole Target thing. So at that time, I would probably moved away from that.
He just told me I'm hella old. I don't know if y'all caught that.
I think we're probably roughly similar ages here, but
Yeah, we are.
Pretty fucking old. He's the oldest dude in the room. Don't let
hey,
this
you don't look it. You don't
Yeah,
look
yeah,
it. You're good.
Yeah.
Asian don't raisin. Toast to Asians not raisin.
Yes.
Asians don't raisin. Asian don't raisin.
So yeah, those were the major brands for me, and then you know the major store for me was True for sure. So
True SF.
So I, ever since birth, essentially, so my grandfather was the pastor of a church in Chinatown here called FCBC. So every Sunday we drive from Fairfield to Chinatown. And so my grandma, she lived in Outer Sunset, 41st in Rivera. So every Sunday when I was probably like 12, started when I was maybe 13, 14, I would ask my parents to drive me to True after church.
That's when hate was hate, though.
Yes, it was the golden era.
It was the
of hate.
gold-
There was
yeah.
like
It
I
was
remember there
fun
was
to go
Rolo on in Union Square, so that was another big one for me. But True was the main store for me, and they were a huge inspiration. And there was like Red 5 was out there. There's another like T-shirt store. So those were definitely like the store inspirations, and then there was some stuff in the East Bay and stuff as well.
True
so
was
the-
home, right?
Yes, True was like the epicenter. That was, I kind of had in my head there were certain key milestones that I wanted to hit, as a brand.
Ooh.
And getting carried in True was probably the first or second one. So
And then that 415 collab was probably
the 415.
oh no, the
I didn't.
Battle of the Bay.
Yes, the 415. So
I know
the
your catalog, dog. I don't know if you see this. Yeah, they don't come my size though, but I
Hey, we do up to 4X. So are you 5? I mean,
I got 5 on it. You know what I mean?
okay.
I'm real Bay Area. You know what I mean? Real 5 on it.
We
room to grow.
We've gotten a couple
was a hyphy
requests
era.
for 5, but not
At
that
the
many.
time,
Not that many.
at the time, like 2X was probably your.
Yeah. So the bread and butter over the years is usually XL.
Yes.
Now it's slimming a little bit more towards like the mediums, the
Right,
larges.
extra small.
Yes.
We got to put that on the order.
Yeah, the
You're
smalls
like,
are coming back. So
"Fuck, extra small.
yeah, it's
Get a
it's
kid
interesting.
size.
It's kind of like it's interesting how society kind of shifts with the sizing and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, but
So yeah, True
So was I saying-
though. True.
yes, True was the key. That was kind of the symbol for it's like, hey, you made it as a brand, right? So and
Having them place an order, you're like, yeah.
Of course. I mean, so our first product they carried was this shirt that we did that was a Supreme flip, and it said Woo Preme, and it was in the Woo yellow.
Mike gives you shit. Does Mike ever give you shit for that? Or Hero?
They no, I mean they said it sold well. I don't know. Was there something? Did something happen with that I'm not aware of? I don't know.
No, I meant like
He just started
Wu Tang.
Oh,
And then you know what I mean?
No,
because
I
Wu Tang
mean-
would be. You remember back in the day, True used to have the Polaroid pictures on the
Yes,
ceiling.
yes.
That's the True that you know what I mean.
Yes.
Shout out to my cousin Les, my cousin Norm. You know what I mean? Mike, the whole Josh, the whole True Familia.
yeah,
Iris.
for sure. Lots
Yeah.
of great guys there. No, we I think if anything, that's what sold them on it. I'm assuming is that it was a Woo affiliation. But apparently, I don't know. I heard that through the grapevine that like Supreme wasn't happy with it.
That's what
I don't know if that's true, but it's whatever.
I wasn't
it's
up
all
on
good.
it.
Oh well, Supreme.
So you were up on
Pretty sure they don't really know who we are. So it's
You
all
were
right.
up on Supreme early then.
Yeah, so we flipped the logo. I think the first time I ever heard of Supreme was through the Kids movie.
Holy shit!
Because have you guys
Kids
seen?
movie.
Yeah, so Kids.
with Casper, yo?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're all rocking Supreme in that. But
I had no idea.
yeah, I think I don't know where I first heard about them, but I'm sure they were popular at the time. They're obviously well known enough that we wanted to flip the logo. So there you go. But yeah, so that was the first shirt we got in there, and then it kind of started the relationship from there. But yeah, and then we did the 415 collab. That was their 15-year anniversary. So we've done a lot of cool stuff with them.
The way you did that though, with the orange, was it orange F, then the 15?
Yes, it was the.
Can we pull that one up?
It was, I think it was the orange 15 and the white 4 maybe. So it's like 415 like for 15 years.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, like the Entendres out here. He's a real rapper.
That was
He's
the 15 years for what? True.
anniversary.
Yeah, it's their 15-year anniversary, exactly.
And then you guys did there was True did this thing to where they collaborated with different brands, and they did like was it because they did one with Diamond, they did one with Crooks, I think it was.
Probably one of their anniversaries or something
yeah,
like that, yeah. They've done a few, I mean, they've been around for what, 20-something years now, so.
That, like, if you have a brand, especially like in the 2000s, that was like, that's where your mecca was.
Yes.
It's from the Bay Area. So just touching on Bay Area, Karma Loop, I remember it was you guys, it was Fully Laced.
Where's Karma Loop based out of?
They're based out of Boston.
Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Chris DeLay?
Yeah, Crystal.
Did I bring it back?
Yeah, he modeled a lot of our stuff.
He did. So it was y'all from the Bay. As far as I remember, on Karma Loop pre-Casbah.
Yes.
I'm talking about pre-Casbah.
Oh no, we were actually only on Casbah.
I thought you were pre-Casbah.
We were actually, they had just launched Casbah, I think, and it was darn it, I'm forgetting his name.
Appreciate the fact check.
But it was, man, I really should remember his name because he was crucial in getting us onto Casbah. But it was the first sort of brand manager of Casbah, and they hit us up. We used to post on the Hypebeast forums and all that. That was kind of like the spot where you would post as an upcoming brand back in whatever this was, 2006, 7-ish.
Man,
and
Nike forum.
Exactly, like the Nike Talk, all that stuff. And so, but yeah, he put us on there. Blake Riccardi, that's who it was.
Ooh.
Yeah. So shouts to Blake for getting us on there.
Blake Riccardi.
Yes, and so Karma Loop was huge, of course. So it was us. It was like Breezy Excursion, Booger Kids.
Kukui was there.
Yeah, Kukui.
We were there late.
IC3.
Hey, shout out to Leroy.
You guys, yeah, for sure. So
F-Word was there late, but we got there.
there was, I think there were a couple other brands too.
Lucid, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's hard to distinguish who were just the local brands and then who was also on Karma Loop. But the ones mentioned were certainly
I
on
see
there.
the whole website happening right before my face.
I know, right? All
Fuck it,
the
trying to shop for
days.
something like.
That was like MySpace when you had to like, oh, this is my seller code.
Yes. There were people that were really big, like on Twitter and stuff, that had the codes. I remember that. But yeah, the Casbah was a crazy time. That definitely boosted us up, put us, people from all over the world, can order from there. So, and we had to ramp up real quick because the orders, compared to coming through our website were, tenfold or whatever. So
yeah, you really had to be ready for those orders once it came in. Because I remember the first time hit us, we're like, whoa, okay, we'll get this going right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So were you guys on the main site as well, or?
Yes.
Oh wow, so that's I've never been on the site, so I never experienced like getting those wholesale orders. So I'm sure that was an amazing thing too.
It was weird. There and Digital Gravel was weird. Remember OG Digital Gravel?
Yeah, but were you guys sold on Digital Gravel? Wow.
Yeah.
So Digital Gravel was the online equivalent of True for me. They had LRG, they had like Siphon, they had all these OG kind of brands, and that's how you got your stuff on the internet. I feel like back then.
That's how I learned about This Is It, that brand. Like, that brand was like one of my. That's an ill brand.
Yes.
Like
I would always look forward to their emails. They would blast out. But that's crazy that you guys were on there. That's an iconic store.
It was a quick hit, and then it came to a point to where Karma Loop said either with us or with them.
Oh really?
Yeah,
it was like that. Wow.
We got that email like, well, all right, we're gonna sell y'all, but you can't be on digital. Like they named certain sites, and Digital Gravel was one. Even though it was the first one, I wish we stuck with it. But
which one did you pick?
Oh, we went with Karma Loop because of the eyes.
They just had the attention.
They had the reach,
the volume.
Yeah, Digital Gravel, they bought it from you and then they just cut you a check. To where Karma Loop, it was kind of like, all right, this is what you're live now, so you're gonna have to fulfill these orders.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
So the really cool thing about the Casbah was that we had full autonomy. So whatever you uploaded was available for sale, right?
Yeah.
Like whereas wholesale, it's kind of like you got to hit them up when it's the season or whatever, and there's like the buyers, you got to deal with them. But with Kazba, it's like whatever you want to put out, you can put out.
As long as you're.
We have so much. We're producing so many shirts. I mean, if you go on our website now, it's ridiculous. There's 17 pages of tees that are
you got a lot of
90 tees per page. Like it's out of control. Like we just have so much product, but it's all built up over the years, and I can't let stuff go. So if it sells out, I just reprint it, which is I probably shouldn't do, but that's
There's
just kind
always
of how we
somebody that
roll.
wants it.
Yeah, but for a site like the Kazba, it's tailored to that because we just flooded the pages, and we were always like we had 5-6. So they had like a top sellers page, and we always had like five or six tees on there, and it's like
Flex.
I mean that's a lot of units. I mean we weren't really equipped for it, so we had to do a lot of adjusting, and it was, I mean, they were absolutely kind of like the catalyst for other wholesale accounts and for our own website. People will trickle, if it's not in stock there, they might come to our website. So there's a lot of crossover.
Especially if you're sending out your own shit, you're putting stickers and flyers like check our website. So you want all that dough. That was if you knew how to use Kazba or like those products and the emails. If you know how to use that to your advantage, you really built your brand, because emails and gathering emails wasn't really a thing back then.
Yes.
You had to almost just have it.
Search.
And the only thing that taught me that was being a club promoter. And I was like, how am I going to reach these people unless I have everyone on my phone, which, the burner Metro PCS. But, not everyone want to carry that. Or Metro PCS, but not the company.
Why'd you have a burner, though?
Yeah, what was the purpose of that?
You know what I mean? So I'm talking about.
I mean, everyone should just have your main line. I don't get what you
I only
mean.
had one phone.
Hey, but it never worked. There was a time it didn't work in Stockton, and it's like, okay, now I'm
What were you doing in Stockton? What's out there?
getting change at a gas station to use a payphone. Anyway, psychic 2 days. All right. Anyways, so one thing that stuck with you, and I think there's over 500K hashtags now, and this is before hashtags was a thing. It was gold-blooded. Could we like gold-blooded? Okay, everyone in the t-shirt company, like in the industry, where everyone was homies. But if you's out here, and if you're I don't want to say you're a competition, but everyone works for a common goal. Either they buy your shirt, they buy my shirt. When I would see someone with a gold blood shirt, I was like, this motherfucker got another one. it'd be a different.
Dude, on the way over here, I saw a gold-blooded license plate.
Oh, right on.
And it said,
we move units on those.
gold-blood. I was like, damn, look at this.
This dude, like, that's when it was like a whole different game.
And it's still going.
To where you almost had to. Did you have to copyright that shit?
Yeah, we do have it trademarked. Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. So
Trademark talk on the Free99 podcast.
So the funny thing about that is that we will have people come into the store and like they will just like
Take
they don't
pictures?
actually know that we came up with it, and they'll be like, oh no, that's that 49er term. Like, how can you guys use that logo? And I have to sort of explain to them
History
that
lesson?
we actually came up with it, and they kind of don't believe us, I don't think, but it's kind of crazy like that. I guess that kind of just shows the penetration that it's had, like as a 49ers thing and as kind of a Bay Area sports phrase. So it's crazy to me, like when people come in like that. But that's just how it is.
They must have. Oh, sorry about that. They must have hated you for that. The 49ers.
The 49ers. It's interesting because
You get any cease and desist?
no, I mean, that's kind of our own phrase. So
Of course.
So actually, if other people did it, then we have to send them cease and desist. So.
All right. No, I meant the 49ers. Have they ever had to hit you like, hey?
Well, we don't really infringe on any of their logos. So we,
talk.
obviously.
They never said gold-blooded or anything like that.
Yeah, we actually the first. It was cool because Robbie Gould, the kicker, right?
Yeah.
Somebody texted me. Right, so I guess they posted a Facebook post from the official 49er page that said like gold-blooded, but it was his spelling, so Gould. And that was the first like public time that I'd seen them say gold-blooded. So that was kind of nice, So I think there's kind of a mutual understanding there. But yeah, typically with the teams and stuff, we don't really get issues. The only issues we've had are with the Players Association, sometimes if we do
Name
player
play.
references, it's a little close, or they kind of have to police that, which is understandable. So
Gold-blooded was one of those things that it worked for almost every Bay Area sports team but the Raiders.
yes,
Right?
yes, I would agree with that.
You had the A's, right? You had the Giants, you had the Niners, you had
Right.
the Warriors. For
Sharks.
the Sharks, he used cold-blooded.
Right,
Cold
right,
Bay.
for the cold.
And I have to ask this question. Did you think of that based off of that Dave Chappelle skit of the Rick James?
So I don't think so. I mean, theoretically, it could be subconscious.
Because we're recording? No.
I want to start a rumor.
I honestly don't think so, but I remember the night that I thought of it. So the cool thing about it is that, the word blooded, right? So it's a flip off of cold-blooded, of course, but and then blood is red and gold is gold, and so when it popped into my head, it was like, wow, this is going to be big. Like even then, I knew that it was going to be big, so I wanted to, position it properly. So I think I applied for the trademark like right after we dropped it, pretty much as soon as I could, because I had a feeling that it would
Once it hit,
be
it's gonna
bootlegged,
hit.
right? So it'd be bootlegged and it would be copied and everything like that. So, and we had already been at that point, bootlegged with the Misfit, the State of Mind, all of our sports stuff.
State of
pretty much
Mind
gets
is
knocked off.
that and the 93 till infinity?
Yeah, no,
come
93
on, man.
yeah.
Come on, man.
We still get requests for that day to
course you do.
reprint that. Yeah,
Of course you do.
So with the gold-blooded, I knew like we had to kind of protect that and stuff, and yeah, it's been kind of an iconic product for us, over the years, which has been good.
That thing still
did
keeps going.
Yeah, everything. And then once
Gold-blooded.
if you really in the game, you got to figure out like, all right, I can't just print shirts. Like, what's the next medium? Like, it's gonna be hats, and then it's gonna be fucking lanyards, and be like lighters, and I just seen it grow into socks and bandanas, and I was like, this motherfucker's really out here.
So this is the thing. It's in this day and age, the age of Amazon, the age of fast fashion, right? It's like they can put out some really nice joggers, right, for $20. So what do you have as a small brand? All you have is a brand. So if you don't have a brand, you can't compete, right? So it's like if people don't sort of believe in your product and kind of what you've built, there's no real incentive for them to support you. So you have to have that goodwill and the stuff that you built over the years, because it's just too saturated, right? I mean, there's an Instagram brand every 5 minutes, and so that's all you have, right? As a small brand, I'm sure you guys kind of see that as well. So
Growing pains,
yeah.
the market grows, and you know what I mean.
So you want to establish those kind of monikers and those kind of things that you're known for. So, I mean, that's kind of what we kind of learned over the years and just seeing with the industry changing. It's not the best time for retail in general.
Did you get goldblooded.com?
I did not get goldblooded.com. But whoever owns it, please contact me, because I will purchase it from you.
Is there a goldblooded.com?
I can only imagine.
I'm pretty sure it's parked, because I think I probably went there and
Yeah, just a look, because everyone probably gold. They just look for gold-blooded. You know what I mean? People just search that, and then that's what it is.
But I will say, before we dropped the shirt, I Googled it because I wanted to see if it was a thing, right? And it just wasn't a thing. So I was like, I kind of was in my head. I was like, wow, I'm surprised nobody's ever like thought of this or flipped this. So it's kind of cool to know that it's like a pure, unique thing,
Are you a 49er fan or a Raider fan?
I am 49er. Yeah, 49ers and Giants is what we growing up had my little bedroom, had the pennants, the OG pennants and all that stuff.
From the flats though, but like here in the Bay, like grandma's house was in the Avs though. So that's
Yes.
like
Sunset.
this is Frisco's Frisco. You know what I
Yep,
mean?
Sunset, and I live in outer Sunset now. I love it. So growing up, like you'd always hear that, like the classic slam of the gate, like the gates in the avenues, right? Just that classic bang. And I was like, I want to have a house that has that sound. So I just, as soon as I could make it happen. Yeah. So living in the outer Sunset, love it out there. It's chill. So
Another shirt I like. Gold Blood is just top. When I knew you was making money is when I seen that billboard off right before the Bay Bridge. When I knew he was making dough, he had before Supreme had that shit out there. You were on that same billboard, right?
So Supreme has one it's facing the other direction, but it's It's close, yeah. So it's on what's called the Skyway, which is the area right after the Bay Bridge.
Are you
in the city?
Yours was going into the city or leaving the city?
So when you're going past the Bay Bridge into the city, you see it. It's on the right-hand side.
That's right.
It's where like the Rydell, the wine one, always is. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one, but
Because Supreme's going.
Oh yeah, there's Supreme's like
yeah,
when you're leaving
Supreme's
the city.
facing exactly. It's facing south or something. So, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. You know, for sure. We don't. It's funny because we don't do like magazine ads or even like Instagram ads or anything, but it's like, you know what, we should do a billboard because
billboards.
it's gonna make that impact, right? You see it, it's just crazy. So
Tax 101, y'all learn about it. But you also did ones by the Coliseum.
yes.
And those are more recent.
Yeah, so I think the first one we did there was maybe like a year after the
580.
Yes, 580.
Yeah.
So they're facing north and south. It's right next to what was formerly Oracle, is now just Oakland Arena. But yeah, those were, you know, with Ashley V. She's our go-to female model.
Who's
You
that?
Love Ashley.
You've been rocking with her for a minute.
We came up together. I love Ashley. So
A lot of guys do. Shout out to Ashley V.
that's very
I
true.
hope you're listening.
Who's that?
I will send her this link for sure. So when we started shooting,
Can we pull that
shouts to my girl Abby,
Abby.
who does Girls Are the New Boys, which is a really great blog. But I asked her, I was like, you know, do you know any models? We need some female models because we had just started doing women's clothing. This was probably 8 or 9 years ago. She's like, yeah, you know, I have this homegirl, Ashley. She does some modeling. You should hit her up. And so, yeah, we met up and, you know, she was in the import car scene and kind of doing her own
That
stuff
was
on
big. Import car scene was a big
Yes,
traveling.
hot import nights, all that stuff.
Yeah, that was big.
And she was kind of, you know, getting popular and stuff. And our trajectories were kind of aligned a little bit in that sense. And so we started shooting and she had just had her son like a month before.
Oh, that's her? What?
Oh, that's her right
I ain't
there.
never seen
That's her right there.
That bow nose, that's old school, right?
Very old school, yes. And
Hello Kitty.
So the amazing thing about Ashley is she can have like 20 different looks. People will always ask us who are all the different models, and I have to explain, is this actually the same girl? Yeah. Like all throughout. So she, you know, she changes it up, changes the hair, changes the makeup. So yeah, that's pre us, yeah, for sure.
Hey, it's all good.
A little more racy than what we would do.
We appreciate it.
Hello.
So, and you actually did a collab with her.
We've done numerous collabs, yeah, over the years.
That
yeah.
bow nose, was that the first one?
So yeah, it was Bo's Nose and it was Hello Kitty. So those were the two. Yeah, we did it kind of in conjunction, kind of a play off the Hello Kitty, obviously. But yeah, we've done some collabs, but for the majority of the stuff, it's pretty much just like she's the model.
So collabs, since you said it, Bruce Miller,
yes.
right, for the 49ers?
Yes.
Miller time, right?
Miller time. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who else?
We did Kaepernick before that, which
Yes.
was the big Niner one for us.
It was that was our first Super Bowl run with
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you did Kaepernick.
That still hurts. Let's not talk about that.
That's that
Yeah.
was tough.
Twice now.
Shit.
I mean, not to bring it up.
We're just not used to losing as real Niner fans. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Real Niner fans.
yes.
Well, we were supposed to be in it this last
Exactly
year.
right. That was all gravy. So
Yeah.
I'm not really complaining.
Yeah.
I'm fucking.
I mean, yes.
E40.
Yes. E40. Yep.
That's
That was
right.
a huge one.
That was a big.
Yeah, we've done a few with him too. He's super nice guy. Like, it's great when someone you super respect and kind of look up to growing up is like also just really nice. You know, because you never really know, right? Until you meet them. So
Big facts. And who else? Yeah, it was Kaepernick. You had a bunch of them though.
yeah, we've done like
Kukui.
we've done 30 to 40
Yeah,
different
Sass.
collabs over the years, probably. Yeah.
30 to 40
Oh, that's
different
all.
Some people don't have
That's
30 to 40
all.
different
I
looks.
mean, we've been around for 17 years, so it's kind of like it sort of adds up. Yeah,
Almost
but
as old as me.
Talk your talk.
we love-
17 years.
Yeah, we love, you know, local businesses. Like, every time I hear like a friend of mine or anyone is just starting a new venture, you know, quitting the 9 to 5, starting something that they love, like, I love it and I want to support it. So,
What's your favorite collab?
Ooh, my favorite collab.
Don't say because he's sitting right here.
Oh no, we never did work.
We have not done a collab.
Yeah, we haven't worked.
We discussed. We discussed.
Yeah. There's always
We gotta do it. We
Oh,
gotta
is
do
that
it.
right?
Timing is
Oh,
everything.
is that right?
Yes. Well, it's not as much timing for me as it's having a good design, right? So we've had numerous people that were like, "Hey, let's work, let's do something," but we don't have a good design. You know, you shouldn't force something, but when it hits, like it hits. You know, I've hit up companies.
Just feels right.
I've hit up companies because I had a design for them, and I said, "Hey, you know, we should collab because I have a good idea for you."
I heard the stars outside right now. They're kind of aligning.
They're starting to
Just
move.
saying.
So
Just
yeah.
saying.
It's really about, you have to come out strong.
Yeah.
I don't believe in like collabing for the
Just
sake of
to
collabing.
collab.
Because I mean,
You gotta feel right.
right? It's like everybody collabs. You know,
Yeah.
you wanna hit with it. So, but yeah,
Facts.
the favorite one. That's a tough one.
Cause you got a lot.
Honestly,
Like,
actually,
I've really tried to go through all of your pages
catalog?
on the website.
it's
'Cause
kind of. I know it's
I
dumb.
was
It's
shopping.
It's like
There's
9
too much.
pages.
It's
Yeah.
There's a lot.
we need to clear it up. But actually, it's probably 93 till, because
That was
Because
before
93
Go
till-
Blooded for people who don't know.
yes,
Yes.
yes. So shouts to Space. He's the homie that hooked up. So he's actually also our main Karma Loop model. But he hooked up, you know, the introduction with Hyro and all that. But 93 till. So the song 93 till Infinity, which is of course
Classic.
what it's based off of, top 5 songs. I mean, not just hip hop, like top
Ever.
5 ever. The beat is just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've not heard 93 till Infinity, look it up, YouTube it. It's amazing.
How old were you when that song
I
came
think
out?
Kanye said it's one of his favorite songs too. But I was when it came out, 93. So that would mean I was 10 years old. Yeah.
Really?
Feel your age, bitch.
83 till. 83 till.
A
73.
sophomore. I was a sophomore.
Oh wow. You do. Hey, but you do not look it. So there you go.
The softest of Moors. More soft.
So for you, that must have hit super hard.
Yeah, man. I'm pretty sure I had that shirt. I had a lot of your shirts that I.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So
State of Mind was a big. Oh no, I'm still good. Right?
State of
one-
Mind
that
was
was one
the
of my
first.
favorites.
Thank you. Was the first big. Actually, yeah, it was the first big sports referencing tee that we did.
Yeah.
Because I was like the
That was
New
most-
York state of mind, right?
So yeah, so we did. Yeah, it said NY. So we had another shirt that said NY Chill, SF Skrill, LA. No, I'm forgetting it now. NY Real, SF Chill, LA Skrill. So it was like Real was like, okay, you're gonna get cut in New York. SF Chill, it's a little chilly. LA Skrill,
Get your
there's
money.
money, right?
Get
So
your
that
money.
was our first like location-based graphic. But yeah, State of Mind was the first like cementing that we're like a Bay Area brand kind of thing, and then it was Misfit kind of followed up after that. So
Yes. That was when it was out. That every even years. That was our shit, right?
yes,
For the Giants.
yeah, 10,
Yeah.
12, 14, yeah. That was
Misfits was a
crazy.
good one.
Appreciate
Misfits
that.
was a good.
That one's been bootlegged
one.
many times.
I bet.
Yeah.
You can tell like how popular something is based on the amount of bootlegs that you see. That's what I've learned.
If you want to see good
Compliments.
good bootlegs are at Pier 39
compliments,
or
but
at the
not
mall.
really. But yeah, you know, because people always say imitations is the sincerest form of flattery.
But you
But
still
really,
gotta
they're
deal with
taking your money, so it's not really.
Did
flattery.
anyone ever try to buy any of your brands? Like Go Butter, like let me buy this out from you.
So we've been offered just the brand as a whole,
Oh,
but
no,
not Gold Blooded specifically. No,
But the brand as a whole,
the brand as a whole, yeah. Mhm.
ooh,
But it's not.
wasn't worth the squeeze.
I mean,
there a
it's
price
kind of my
tag?
baby, so I can't really. It would have to be absurd, you know, something that.
So
would
there is
allow
a
me-
price.
I mean, I can be bought, but I mean, I'm just being real. But
Everybody can be.
Put that shit
Also-
to the universe. Let's make some sales.
so the key, right, is
We
it's-
charge 10%, by the way, if you get bought.
it's all means to an end, right? So if that put me in a position that I could do something new, right, and you have the capital, it's not a bad idea because you're always creating, right? It doesn't matter what the brand is or what the entity is, as long as you can create and you have the capital to back it up, you know, it's
So at that point,
can
they
do whatever.
They're just buying your name and catalog, right? If that was,
it would be, but I mean, it wouldn't really happen because it's so much of the brand is like my personal sensibilities. It's stuff that I grew up with or references that kind of only make sense to me. So it's probably too personal to ever really go there.
And with
But there
that-
is a number.
Yeah, there.
I mean, there is a number. Yes. I will not publicly say what the number is. However, if I'm offered the number, then there you go.
You know what I
right?
mean?
There you go.
If the feeling is right, I'm
feeling
gonna go
is
with it.
right. Do you remember that that Biggie shirt? It was all a dream.
Yes, it was all a dream. Yeah, that was one of my favorites actually.
That was like I think Karmaloop had a contest to where whoever could flip the Biggie logo and people had to vote on it.
Really?
Yeah, because I think you did one. I think Leroy did one.
Oh, was that submitted for that contest?
I think so.
I literally don't.
Man, you didn't even know what you did.
My brain. What I love about you guys is you actually know a lot of the stuff that I've done and stuff
study.
that I've forgotten. So
It's brands
fans.
like you
We're
study.
fans.
You know what I mean?
I really appreciate that because
Respect the game,
everybody's
man.
kind of a fan, but you can tell when people actually know the product.
Yeah.
And you're pulling up some stuff that's
Gems.
been out of the
That's
the
why
loop
we
for
only
a while,
charge
so.
10% if you sell.
You know what? Let's make it 25. Let's make it 25.
right.
But yes, that one, like visually from a design standpoint, was a lot of fun. That's still one of my favorites.
Like a triangle, right?
Yeah, it
and
was.
it flowed down.
So it was this font called Avant-Garde, which is very popular at the time.
Oh.
It has a lot of
Avant-garde.
straight lines
Yeah.
and cool angles. It's very sharp, and then I kind of did this little smoky thing. But yeah, that's one of my favorites for sure.
You designed besides collabs where people have actually worked together. As far as your catalog for Adapt alone, you designed 100% of that.
No, not 100, probably like 98. So we've had definitely some talented artists that have come in. It's
Shout out to
usually
interns.
stuff that I can't draw. So Kuya George. So he's
Fucking
a really
killer. That paint,
Yes.
he did the.
He
senior
recently
season
did
shit.
exactly. He
And
recently did all
collabed
sorts.
with Evan Gill, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Come on,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Come on.
We maybe have something else coming too. So stay tuned for that one.
Woo.
But
Stay working.
So yeah, this dude James Edmondson, who's this really dope typographer. We did he helped me do some stuff. It might have just been those two. I think there's probably a couple other people that helped me, but
98% is just you?
Yeah,
because
He's not image.
I'm very
he's
I'm very
wordplay.
picky. Yeah, I'm very picky about the way that it kind of looks and stuff. So it really there has to be a reason that I don't do the graphic unless I'm literally like presented with a finished product already. And if that's the case, then we would do that. But usually when I collab, like I usually like to do the design. So it's kind of but I like to collaborate on at least the concept, you know. So
You just want to hear the, yes, I like it.
I do like to hear that. Yes, I do like to hear that. And you know that's
Collab, motherfucker.
it's a
You like my
design. It's a design thing. So sometimes I'm probably too
In
too
your head?
picky in that sense. Yeah.
But damn, you got 9 pages on
keeps
your
it- it keeps
website.
it
Come
going.
on, man. You ain't that picky.
Hey, there's the stuff
More.
that we have not put out is stupid. Like I want to put it out. I can't, right? There's just not enough buyers out there to buy it. So
Do you
Gotta
have
pick
your
and choose.
hands in other pots besides Adapt clothing?
so
You got
I mean, like-
you got a big imprint over at Hometown Heroes. I see.
Yeah, so we do work with shouts to Trung. We do a lot of different we work with different restaurants or different entities. Just straight freelance, you know, if there's
Nice.
there's friends or acquaintances that need graphic design, like I'll definitely help with that. I'm pretty active with
So
the
you're
church.
not part owner of it?
For hometown?
Yeah.
No, I
Because I walked in there, I was like, man, I feel like
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
in an Adapt store.
we designed the actual space
Imprint
and then
bar.
we
The bar.
Yes, the bar itself, and then also like kind of the decorations and stuff throughout. But it's really a time thing. It's you know, you got to go to meetings and there's all these partners and stuff like that. So
You made that logo, right?
Yes.
That's very you. Like, yeah,
Hey,
your foot's in that.
I'm glad that you could tell. Yeah. So, and it's very very easy to kind of put on different things. It's simple. So but yeah, it's more of a time commitment thing probably when it comes to that stuff, and you got to pay attention to financials, and it's not stuff I'm super interested in. So I'd rather just kind of help people with their different.
It's kind of like
projects.
sewing.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to do the work.
Well,
could you
yes.
sew for me?
I just want to pass that class.
Yes. The sewing.
There's a girl in that class.
And I feel like, as you know, being in the clothing industry, I should be more proficient in the sewing aspects, but
You know,
I mean,
your
are you
lane,
guys?
though.
Are you guys?
So what?
There you go. There you go. I feel better now. So
It's, you know, if we don't know how to do it, we're gonna pay someone that knows how.
right. So it's. I believe firmly in division of labor. So you do what you're good at, right?
Yeah.
I'm not good at sewing. It's gonna
Stay in
take
your
me
lane.
4 times the amount of time, and it's gonna be much worse, right? So pay somebody to do what they're good at. You do what you're good at.
Get it done right half the time.
Yeah. So sadly, you know, owning a brand, like I never really wanted to own a brand because I would much rather just be the designer, right? But the problem is there's no scenario in which you can have carte blanche with the designs and not own the brand, right? Because the owner, the partners, they're gonna want to have their say. It's like, hey, you know, this is the color palette for the season, so we want you to use this. Like, I can't work within those parameters, so
And that's why you do 98% of the designs.
and you gotta own it, right? If you want that
no,
level
bro,
of
that's
control, you gotta own it.
Do you
And I gotta manage people. I gotta do things.
Nice
that I
try,
don't
but
wanna do,
no, that's
so.
not gonna make the website.
Do you
Exactly.
You're page 11.
So are you, is this solely your gig? Just a brand? Is that all you do as far as like?
In terms of like
You.
in terms of
Do you have a regular 9 to 5?
no, I don't. So I used to work for Apple actually. So when I
Flex.
was starting the brand, so I started in college, and then out of college I started working at CNET, which is they review tech products. So I've been in the tech industry for a while.
That's
so,
one with the arcade on the second floor. The one in the city, right?
Yeah, so they're owned now, I think, by CBS. They didn't have an arcade at the time. They had like a ping pong table, but they had a cool game room because they owned GameSpot, which is like a game review
Oh
website.
shit! I don't know that.
Yeah, so I worked for them for a year, and then my friend that I went to college with, he started working at Apple, and so he put in the good word, started working there. So I worked for iTunes, and I ended up working there for 6 years.
What'd you do for them?
I did design for the iTunes store. So I'm sure you guys remember the 99-cent downloads back in the day when like downloading was the thing. So we would do graphics for.
I don't know. I had LimeWire.
As did I. I mean, that was like college for me. Was like that was the musical revolution, right? 'Cause you just so much. And I used to DJ at KDVS, which was the Davis radio station.
Oh,
Wait,
shit.
you were a DJ too?
I was a DJ by name, but not by
Skill.
skill.
What was your DJ
meaning I'm a
name?
There you
DJ,
go.
like I would play records.
There you go.
What was your DJ name?
All right, so I was Louis the 13th. Okay, so 13 is
We're
my
not
favorite
laughing 'cause
number.
it's funny. We're laughing
13 's
because
your
it's
favorite
13 is my favorite number. It had the Louis Vuitton reference, and it was also the alcohol, right? So I thought it was kind of clever.
You like wordplay with like
I like
layers,
wordplay.
yeah,
I like
layers like
wordplay.
parfaits and shit.
Yeah, and it had this nice little cool intro. It like sampled Jay-Z and E40 were saying Louis the 13th and stuff. So it was kind of cool.
Because every rapper says
Yeah, it was a
Exactly.
thing.
$1.50 a shot, Louis the 13th.
Hey, the most. If I'm the best, be the best. That's a trip. So you quit Apple after 6 years. What year was this?
So Apple was an amazing experience. I mean, I was there when the first year I was there, they dropped the first iPhone, which was changed the game, right? So, and they gave us all free iPhones. I was only there, I think 5 months, and then I got the iPhone when it came out. So, but Apple was amazing. I worked with so many great people. You know, the girl that did my website was my coworker. The dude who did all my photography was my coworker. My back end for some other stuff was
You were
another
in the
coworker.
right space.
It was the right space.
Yeah, it was perfect.
the most talented people to help me do what I got to do. Like they believed in what I was doing, wanted to help me out, didn't charge me a dime. Like I'm forever grateful for those people.
Do they get unlimited free shirts?
I mean, they didn't really like my
They
clothes,
get
I don't
it,
think, but
they get a discount
I
code.
guess when they ask for stuff, I'd give it exactly 15% plus a free sticker.
You get the free shipping
Hey man,
code,
shipping's
guys.
pricey. I can't do that.
Yeah. Hold on. Where we shipping to first? Hold on.
I know exactly.
Is it overstate? No.
I'll drop it off to you.
Yeah, right. You know how much gas is?
Yeah, so I mean, Apple and I mean, Steve Jobs, Johnny Ive, who's the industrial designer for Apple, prior to a couple years ago, those guys were like my design idols. So working at that company was absolutely, amazing for me. But all the while, I'm building the Adapt brand. I go home working from 7 to 1 a.m. right? You gotta, because I'm at Apple all day. So, and I was finally able to leave after 6 years and do the thing full time. So
Never look back.
never look back. Never look
The
back.
business was at a point to where it's like either I'm gonna make them money or I'm gonna make myself money.
Yes. So it hits a point where exactly right. So the hours per day, are these translating? Am I gonna make more with Adapt or am I gonna make more with Apple?
And you're like,
and
Adapt
it just
is working
the
right
math
now.
didn't work, right?
Yeah.
And so you gotta do it at some point. And it was tough because I had a great gig. I was working part-time. I only went into the office 2 days a week, had an awesome team. The pay was good, so it was tough, but
You only work 2 days a week and you still have to quit?
I still had to quit. Man. I know.
I don't know if I could do 2
Trust
days,
me,
guys.
trust me. I dragged it as far as I possibly could.
With
until-
benefits, 2 days a week?
With full benefits,
What the
it was
fuck?
amazing. It was amazing.
No one, I want
Hey, if
everyone to
Apple's
soak
listening,
that
I will
in.
take his job right now.
I don't know if
Can I
anyone
get that?
had to
Shouts
catch
to my
that.
manager Dave because he knew, like he appreciated. He saw it. He was like, "You got to do your thing. You could go part time."
2 days a week.
Yeah, it's
Fully
crazy.
benefited.
But
That's
even
rough,
then,
man.
right?
I feel for you.
But even then, you have to weigh, right? You have to weigh the pros and cons, and it's just there was too much I wanted to do, right? There was wholesale, there was
doing
going to
what you
trade
love.
shows, exactly, and you just can't. I wouldn't be able to properly do my job there because I'm constantly thinking about
You
Adapt
quit
and
to
stuff,
take
so.
care of your baby.
Had to take care of the baby. The baby needed to be
Family
to be
first.
fed. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Family
so
first. Do you have,
but
do you have
I-
a dap tattoo?
I do not. I've considered it for years. But I just haven't pulled the trigger.
That means you're not in a real clothing line unless you have like a tattoo.
I know. I mean, the Breezy guys, they're fully neck, everything.
Which version of the Adapt
Original
would
logo.
you- The original?
Ooh.
Because
So-
this one right here is pretty hard. That's off of the Asahi. Or
Yes,
no, the
yes, it
beer.
is. I mean, it possibly is.
Possibly.
I mean, no.
I don't know.
I mean, trademarks aside, but
They ain't listening.
Dang,
So,
snitch.
so
We're like 38 minutes.
it would
This thing comes up on
probably-
my email all the time.
it would probably be
Yeah,
the
that's hard.
CTA, which is like our Helvetica logo, just because that's kind of like our main logo at this point. And I was
Helvetica.
thinking like the top back because that's where we put it on the shirt.
Yeah.
So it could be as if it's I'm permanently wearing the shirt.
You could make
with
to
the
like
tag and
the
everything.
tag.
I mean, maybe not the tag. That's a little intricate. I'm just thinking the one.
The whole neckline and everything.
AAA all style. Let me get the
Wow.
all style.
Wow, dropping the brand knowledge right now.
Not at all. That's all Fernando. I'm the background dude. Like I just push it in the front and he make all the designs. But no,
Pushing the
y'all
front.
though Adapt one like damn near one man army at one point. You were holding
Yeah.
a lot of hats.
Yes.
You were holding a lot of hats. So
I
that's
think you're the only clothing line to make it inside a ceremony.
Yeah, and I mean
Right?
we're no longer there, so
No,
I don't know if we did
that,
make it,
like,
but
no, but you
and he dropped
Right?
on Black Friday.
and I.
We
shopped-
did.
I
We
shopped-
did.
Come on, man.
I
That
don't
was a
like
crazy
ceremony,
day.
I was
but
there.
I shopped in that store.
that was a crazy day. Yeah, it was. So ceremony's cool. I personally, the mall atmosphere is not for me. So the problem with the mall is that you get a lot of traffic that is just sort of random people coming by, right? I want my traffic to be efficient. Like people who come to our Sunset store, they're there because they're a
The first
fan of
store.
our brand, right? There's
wanna
not a lot
be
of
there.
foot traffic. They want to be there. I can, chat it up with the customers and they're like real fans of the brand. So ceremony, you've got a lot of people just coming in and out, like just kind of, which is okay because
Doesn't
you get the
want to be
exposure,
seen
but
at that point.
yeah, it's not a good, like the how do you say it? It's like it's like the margins are not great. Like the people that come in versus who buys. So
It's ceremony.
yeah, and it's ceremony. It's not,
That was a
it's-
flex though.
It was.
It was,
a
it,
flex.
no,
When
it,
When
it
you guys
was
showed
great
up
while it
there,
lasted.
I was like, wow.
That was a flex though, and you made that corner pretty because that used to be a jewelry store.
It was
Right?
not the best corner. Yeah, it's not.
No,
the
but
best
you
corner.
made it pretty though, like because you guys fully remodeled it from what
Yes.
it was.
Yes.
Because honestly, me and Phil looked at that same corner for.
Oh, did you?
A different
Wow.
venture.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
Nobody's trying to do that.
Why
there.
you? Why you? Hey, watch now. Was it,
With
And I'm
our
sure you get a good
10%.
deal there
With
now.
rent now?
I mean,
Yeah, you
Right
probably
there?
get your 10%. No, there's money there. They built a parking lot.
And there's a Jen barbecue going there.
Oh, really?
There's
Wow.
a Chen barbecue going there.
my girl loves Chen barbecue, so she's gonna like to hear that.
Chen barbecue.
Then you're gonna see everybody you know there.
And you're gonna smell like a family, like a house party. Whenever you leave, Jen is like, all right, I'm going
They're all
home
gonna
now.
be like, "Where's my shirt at?"
I'm going
buy that
home
shit.
now. So you went to the first storefront. What year was that?
So the first storefront would have been the SF store,
Okay.
which was a little over 7 years ago. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I just blocked the mic on
No,
that. A little over 7 years ago. Yeah. So
What year are we in?
2020. So 2013.
it opened
2012.
February of what would be the 7-year anniversary this year. That would be of
Happy
2013.
anniversary! Happy anniversary!
Thanks. Yeah,
I remembered.
Yeah.
know
We've been kind of lazy
what
with
today?
anniversaries, so we've not been dropping anything. But yes, that was great. I loved having that store. And then we did
was that at?
Ceremony. So it's on 33rd and Judah in the Outer Sunset.
Okay.
Yeah. Open 12 to 6 Wednesday through Sunday.
Hell yeah,
Wednesday
get it out there.
through
Don't
Sunday.
forget. Yeah, so but yeah, so we did that, and then we did Ceremony, and then we did Santa Clara,
Oh,
which
shit,
was
I didn't know
with
that.
was kind of joint with our friends at Booger Kids. So they wanted to open a store, and that's their area. They're from San Jose. They're like, hey, we found this cool spot on the Alameda, which is one of the main strips there.
Booger Kids
And
is the one that did the.
They did the rock paper cut. So they did
The
the
Mickey
Mickey
Mouse
hands.
house.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Bieber wore that one, and that's why I think catapulted them to
a lot of like celebrities and stuff wore that. So yeah, but we were right next to them. We kind of shared this joint kind of space,
Okay.
and that was cool. But it's kind of hard to manage it. So and then we currently have our warehouse in San Leandro, which is where we do our online orders, and that's also a store. So at one point we had
Holy
the 4
shit.
locations.
The Dro.
And I mean, for someone like me that's
Troville.
I like to kind of have my hands in everything, it's just too much. So had to pull back. And now I'm very happy with our warehouse and our SF location. But those were both, Ceremony and Santa Clara were great while they lasted. But again, it's tough when like I can't be there, and it's just, I feel like I want a little bit more control.
98% control.
Yeah, I
I
need
hear
that
you.
98.
I
I need that
hear you.
98.
I
So.
hear you.
With 17 years, right? The brand is 17
Yes.
years. As
17 years. So we started in 2003.
So total brand years, 17 years. As you having your own two doors currently to walk in, what's your opinion on brands that are not from San Francisco Bay Area that come in and try to build a home here?
Who's that?
Well, I mean, I didn't grow up in San Francisco, so I don't know if I apply to that
But you're
too.
Bay Area though. You know what
Yes.
I mean?
Oh,
This
so
is
you
still
mean like
home.
from completely out of the area?
Yeah, okay.
I honestly don't
His advice is get out.
know what.
Cold-blooded
Like, I'm
bitch.
not aware of brands.
Check the hashtag, oh.
Cold-blooded bitch, get the fuck out.
Sorry. This is a lot of
This is good.
this is like a family
I'm
party.
gonna come back. So,
Please.
if you'll have me. But,
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I guess I've not really thought about that. I'm not aware of many brands that are out here that aren't from here, unless they're just really big, like national brands.
So the ones I could think of were like Undefeated.
Okay, just bigger streetwear brands. Yeah, and like Hundreds used to be here and stuff like that.
Exactly. Supreme.
Oh, right,
Hundreds.
Supreme. Yeah, of course.
Stussy was that the first, the Stussy on Hate?
Yes, the
right?
Sushi on Hate.
Yeah.
So I have no personal issue with it. I think, if you're a
His
brand.
money's right. Even if his
Well, he
money's
don't even trip
right.
off shit.
You're saying in the sense of competition.
Yeah.
Oh no, we don't. I mean,
Oh,
we're,
no, there's no competition.
no. It's
Go blooded bitch. Check the hashtag. We're gonna start a new
It's-
hashtag.
I think
This shit's trademarked, dog.
so. I think it's literally the reverse of what you're implying. Like for us, we're not. I mean, we're small beans to those guys. Like we don't. The customer that's buying a Supreme shirt is not. I mean, they may also buy our stuff, but they're not. They're not like choosing. Oh, should I get gold blooded or this Supreme tee? I don't think it's.
You know what it is? Because once they buy that Supreme tee, they can't afford anything else.
That's
There's
it.
that because they're probably buying it on the secondary market. But yeah, we don't. It's like our stuff is just kind of different. I think because so many of our customers are like sports fans.
Yeah.
Which is actually only kind of half of our business. So we have a whole other sort of component to the brand that's sort of just branded product that's not really related to sports. But that's, definitely what we're known for is
Yeah.
the kind of sports related stuff. But, those customers, I don't think, they're looking for like a Niner tee or a Giants tee. I don't think they're looking for we're not really competing with those brands, I guess, because of the types of shirts that we make. I mean, maybe we are losing business to them, but I'm not really aware of that, I guess.
I think it's because
Check my bank account.
I think it's because you already have your footprint. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I mean-
Everybody, you don't really have to go out there. Everybody comes to you.
Well, it's not.
They
and
already
it's,
know what they get. They know what they
Or
want.
on you, depends how lucky you are.
Easy.
it's also like, I mean, it's a brand thing. So, I think an undefeated customer wants an undefeated shirt.
yeah.
Like, I don't think it's like if they want an adapt shirt, they'll come to us. They won't go to them. And if they want an
True.
undefeated shirt, they're going to go to them.
True.
So I think maybe it was different before when, like, I think the industry was more, I guess, competitive, I feel like, back in the day. I
Yeah.
think now everyone's just kind of in their own lane.
Like everybody knows what they want.
Yeah, and it's like everyone's got their own channels regarding like online marketing and things like that. It's like you go to their different properties, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not as much. I mean, I think people go to like individual websites more often now as
Yeah.
opposed to like
Yeah.
the Karma Loops of the world.
Yeah.
So you just kind of do your thing, right? And if people like your stuff, then they buy your stuff.
Just speaking on like shirts, I want you to, if you could walk us through the thought process and the time of research and destroy.
Yes.
Come on, man. I know. I do
So this
homework.
is the whole cancer thing. So
Yeah.
So do you want to hear?
Yeah.
Okay,
Just
so
tell us your story behind that tea
Yeah.
and how that like what was going through, what was happening for you at that
yes. So it's an interesting story. So in the end of 2015,
time. Okay.
that was actually when we had the ceremony store. It was open for a couple years, and then we shut it down right after Christmas.
Okay.
So the idea was like, make all our money on Christmas, then be done and be out by the 1st, because of the lease and all that. So
You guys made your money on Christmas, though.
yeah,
Black
we
Friday.
did.
I
We did.
told you he
That was
dropped
a
Black
great-
Friday.
That was a great year.
It
So
was in ceremony Black Friday.
Everybody had adapt shirts that Christmas.
I had a
yeah, that was good times. That was good times. So we started clearing out probably the 27th, 28th of December. We had to really move because the timeline to get out. And so I was feeling kind of like not well. I was feeling weak, tired. I was kind of get like bruising, and I'm like, this must be from moving all these boxes. Like I'm literally hauling boxes into a U-Haul. And I was sleeping crazy hours. I was sleeping like 11, 12 hours a night. And it was just, I don't know what's going on. I think I'm sick. And I think it was probably it was like the 7th or 8th of January. I was going to my warehouse. So we do a delivery every week at the warehouse from San Francisco. So I was driving the van and I had a whole box full of, the whole van full of stuff I was dropping off at the warehouse. And my aunt, who's the manager there, and I asked her, I'm just not feeling well. Can you help me unload the van? And she looked at me, she's like, you don't look well. You've never asked me to help you unload the van before. You should go to Kaiser and see if you're sick. And I was like, I don't want to do this. And she literally just went on the website, signed me up and said, okay, you have an appointment at like 5 tonight. So you got to go today. It's like, okay, I went there, did a little blood panel, got my blood drawn. And the next day at 9 a.m., they call me and they're like, we don't want to scare you, but we're looking at your labs. You have cancer, and we think it's a blood cancer. And I was like, I'm floored. I don't know anything about cancer.
2015, right?
So this was the beginning of 2016.
2016, okay.
And I was just floored. I didn't know what that meant. They said, we think you have leukemia, which I don't know what that is. I've heard of it, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. So thankfully, my uncle, he's a doctor at Kaiser. So I called my parents, I called him, kind of briefed me. I was obviously freaking out. And then we went to Kaiser later that day, and I was there for the next 30 days, like never left. And so it turned out I had ALL, which is called acute lymphoblastic leukemia, so leukemia is basically what it is it's so like, we all have like healthy white and red blood cells. So what happens is the white blood cells, they get like corrupted somehow, like they don't really know how. And they start like killing the other ones, and then they just kind of weaken your body, and if you don't treat it, you'll die eventually. So it's typically kind of in your bone marrow and stuff. So they had to do a bone marrow biopsy. Worst pain I ever felt in my life. They dig this needle like probably 3 inches into your. It goes into your bone. So
yeah, because they got to get in the marrow.
Yeah, they got to get in that marrow, like deep in the marrow. So, but they give you the morphine and stuff. But even then, it's like you feel it. Yeah. I mean, that just kind of only scratches the surface.
Make
of
you
the pain.
tolerate it a little
exactly.
bit. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was the craziest experience. So I was in there for a month. I reevaluated my whole life. Like there were times when, I could have had this kind of mutation version where it's like you'd have a 30% chance of survival and all this stuff. So it was a crazy ordeal. And actually my popo, my grandma, she ended up like also passing away like while I was in the hospital.
Fuck, I'm sorry.
She caught pneumonia and literally 4 days later like passed away. So it was from full health to that while I'm in there. So all this craziness is going on,
Rest in
right?
peace,
So,
Grandma.
I mean, it gives you new perspective. So, I'm not bothered by the same things that used to bother me. Like it makes you appreciate life a lot more. You appreciate family, friends. You
Definitely.
kind of you realize what's important. So it was a very eye-opening process. And even leaving the hospital, the whole treatment, I just finished my treatment in June, actually. So it was a 3.5-year treatment process. You have to take pills, you have to go in, get labs. They do these like spinal taps, which are, as you can imagine, are not enjoyable. Hopefully you guys have never had those, but.
It just sounds painful.
Yes, painful. And so, yeah, it was just a whole ordeal. And the brand was definitely kind of hampered at the time. What's cool is that I have a pretty good relationship with our customers. So, I mean, I sent an email. I said, this is what happened. Don't be surprised if throughout the rest of the year you don't see a lot of product. And people were cool. Like I got a lot of really nice notes and a lot of people that, were sympathetic or either had other family members that had gone through the same thing. So it's cool because you really get to connect with your customers on a whole different level, And we did, so back to your original question, we did the Research and Destroy shirt. We did one that said all-blooded because it's like a playoff of ALL, which is the type of leukemia that I had. And we did a couple other cancer teas over the years. But yeah, we raised a good amount of money with those stuff. It's like this Adapt Plus thing that we do, which is all charitable. Like after our costs, we just donate the proceeds.
You do that with like local customers too, as far as like
yes.
if they have
yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So
it's just whatever
that,
is cool. So the most recent one we did was actually for Kobe. So we did one for Kobe.
Gold-blooded. I seen it with the halo.
Yes, and it was interesting because
boy.
We weren't originally, we do Warrior stuff, right? We don't do Laker stuff, but the amount of requests that we got, it was crazy. And to me, it's like, wow, the impact that he had on people, even diehard Warriors fans, right? Everybody loves Kobe, like straight up. So
even outside of basketball.
Oh, outside.
Yeah,
I mean, he's
right?
just a figure, right? So we had to do something, and we haven't announced it on our Instagram yet, but we raised $25K in donation. So off of this one graphic. So we're gonna, it's crazy. I actually have to wait to do the donation because the credit card is not gonna work. So we gotta wait for the re-up on the monthly.
We gotta wait for shit to settle, motherfucker.
Yes.
Keep buying it.
But I mean, like, this whole program that we do is amazing because it's like, as an individual, right? I can't donate $25K to the Kobe Foundation. It's just not possible. But when you leverage like all the customers, everybody is taking part, and they get a shirt, they get to donate. It's a win-win for everyone. So, and we get to contribute. So
the fact that you do that, and like I said, not even like Kobe, there was I think there was another family member that locally that I think a family member got, I forget who it is. It's Justin's cousin. I think Maggot's the last name. You did My God, there probably not.
He said maggot.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm born here.
Was that one of the cancer ones?
Yeah, it was the
so
cancer
we
one.
did two
Recently.
That one. Yeah. The fuck cancer one.
Yeah, so that was for this kid X, and
That's
Xavier.
what it was.
He's
that's
a
what
really cool kid. and he had cancer, and we worked with him and the family, and we actually just finished last week a pre-order. We did another pre-order for the fuck cancer.
Another pre-order.
Yeah, because the family wanted to make, or actually I think I brought it up because we had been getting a lot of requests, and the family was totally cool with it, and I they wanted to order some more too, which was perfect. But that tea has been really popular as well. So it's just general, right? I mean, you don't necessarily need to know him to appreciate that, because everybody
affected by it.
Something you learn when you get cancer is you find out all the other people that have cancer or that know people that have cancer, and it's like it's the most prevalent sort of really fucked up thing, right? That exists. I feel
that's
like
the sad part. Like, you have so many connections.
It's crazy. It's everybody has some relation, right? So, but yeah, that was a really good project that we're super proud of too.
For you to be able to put that, because you pretty much put it out there, like you let people know, like, hey, I'm going through some stuff. Product's gonna slope a little bit. That was almost therapeutic for you to almost get it off your chest, right? Because you as a designer, you're sitting here for 30 days. You're like you're still not 100%, but you're still working, because I bet you had your laptop by you the whole time.
I had it
you
right
know
on that little bedside, that table that comes out.
You have a little bamboo tablet too.
No, I didn't have that.
98%.
The table was too small, honestly.
Yeah, no, and the fact that you took that time just to give yourself that minute, because I bet you were running on probably 200% from when you quit your job till then.
Yes.
And then just really just stepping back.
Full steam ahead, and then it just drops off a cliff, right? Which is, I'm not used to that, But it was probably good, because I was probably working a little too much. And so it gives a little balance. And, I only finished up treatment in June, and now I'm just old. So I just work less anyways. So it kind of segued
Don't you be talking about old, okay?
You got that beautiful smooth skin, all right? You're good.
Babyface assassin.
Yes, exactly.
But this is your baby, so you had to
my
let
baby,
people know, like, what's happening with your baby.
Right, and it's cool because, typically with a brand, you're not gonna see an email like that, right? So it's nice that I have that personal relationship with them, that I can actually do that, as opposed to working for a company where it's like, hey, you shouldn't. Why are you posting this? This doesn't even relate to the brand. But because that's kind of how we came up. Like, that's just how I do it. Like, if I have something to tell the customers, then I'll just tell them. And if you don't like it, well, you probably shouldn't be my customer, So it's kind of it's nice to have that freedom to be open with that stuff. So
when was do you recall, like, when someone sent you a picture, or when you seen your shirt out, you're like, fuck, how the fuck did it get over here?
Yeah, we so first there's the feeling, so I'm sure you guys know this, the first time somebody messages you, say, hey, I saw your shirt out in the wild, right? It's the best feeling ever.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, even when you sell your first shirt, it's like, wow, somebody wants to spend their hard-earned money to buy this thing that I made.
Yeah.
What better feeling is there than that? I mean, it's the best feeling. So, and then it's like, okay, so somebody bought a shirt, and then it's, wow, somebody out in the wild sees a shirt, and then it's, wow, somebody in another country has a shirt. There's levels to, like, that.
I thought Livermore was a big deal.
That is a big deal. I mean,
let's talk about your wild. How, dude, where was it? Germany? Europe?
So, I mean, like, different Asian countries, Italy, like different places, like, Japan, like all over. But so one time we saw, or somebody sent that it was being bootlegged in another country, which I think it was like Vietnam or something.
Which one was being bootlegged?
So we did a Tupac shirt back in the day. That was one of our first popular shirts, which we did get hit up for, by the way, and that was not enjoyable. But
I like how you said it. We got hit him up.
We did get hit up.
Entendres, he's never not
I
working.
I did mean that.
Never not working.
Yes, but that taught us a lot about the legal system and stuff, so that was good. But yes, you'll never lose, I think, that feeling of seeing your stuff out there, because I don't know, it's like it never gets old that this thing that people you love to do, people want to buy, right? And we all have finite funds. And so if you're choosing to buy our shirt over 500 other options, right? I mean, it's a good feeling.
So it was one of the, you said an Asian country? The first time you remember?
Oh, the first international one? I don't really remember. I mean, probably.
So
like,
many.
Been there, done that.
Well, no,
I don't know.
So many.
So I mean, that didn't stick in my head as much as probably like the first time somebody texted me and say, hey, somebody's wearing a gold-blooded shirt or something. Yeah.
Gold-blooded.
Hey, for real though? That
Dude, I saw that on a license plate holder on the way here.
dude.
On the way here.
The ones that I really like though are where it's like I know the shirt is pretty obscure. Like we didn't print that many, and then somebody's wearing it because the volume is just not out there. So it's kind of like they're a little bit more specifically probably a customer.
I had to give up my SF State of Mind shirt because I had the deodorant
How dare
stains on
you.
the shit. Dude, it was just bad, bro. It was
You
bad.
make
And
it a
then-
tank top.
I got you for a new
And then on top of that, it was XL because that was like the hyphy days.
I'm gonna
where-
give you. So we did like a Raiders version. So I'm gonna give you that colorway if that's cool. I mean, I can't give you the
it's cool,
Giants colorway, but I can give you the Raiders. I will give you that.
No, you just go ahead. I'll use it to wash my car.
Do you remember when having your design on a New Era hat was like the deal?
Yes. Okay. So, because the only reason that we got a New Era was because of John Barretto from Fully Laced.
Hey, shout out
Love
to
John Barretto.
Gold Mine.
One of my brothers, and we came up all
Same time,
together.
yeah.
Yes.
Seen y'all grow.
He knows everybody. He had a great relationship with New Era and all that. So we kind of piggybacked on his brands because you have to have an account, right? So and there's certain parameters probably you have to hit or something. So he let us kind of piggyback on his, and so we did the logo, like our original logo on a New Era, and then we did the gold-blooded, and we did another like a A's one too. So those were all, I mean, the New Era, that was, back then, like when you got that 5950,
But
that
then,
was a stamp.
That was a stamp. But then as a person producing them, you're like, when snapbacks came, you're like, oh, thank God. Because these fucking, oh, thank God.
Much,
I got a
much
bunch
less
of,
expensive, yes.
I got a bunch of size 8s just sitting there.
Right, the universal sizing is
size
key.
8, let you know.
Yes. Okay, I got you.
Size 8s just sitting in the back, and no one wants to buy these hats. And then
They had by size 8s and Raiders colors though.
I'll take
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
only the gold-blooded
you know,
era.
same shit, same gang. But then
It was funny though, because they wouldn't actually let us do, so we did a black gold-blooded, but they wouldn't let us do the red because they said it was too close to like the 49ers. And we tried to explain it's like, it literally just says gold-blooded. We own gold-blooded. Here's the trademark number. But no, you still can do it. It's interesting. I mean, they gotta, make sure everybody's happy, I guess. So, but it was kind of interesting just to see how they function a little bit.
was Niners on New Era at that time? Because I remember like
Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they had the license because it switches.
Reebok at that time, right?
Yeah,
Was
it was
Reebok?
whack.
Probably.
Reebok. Remember
NFL was part
Reebok
of, like,
hats?
Reebok.
Oh my God, those are terrible, dude.
Which one?
Reebok hats.
Oh,
Those are
Reebok
terrible.
jerseys.
Oh yeah, those are bad. Even like the swingman, like
Yeah.
+3 long.
I think I had like a Garrison Hurst Reebok jersey.
What did you get any picture of any celebrities like wearing your shit? You're like, oh,
Ooh, yeah, we've definitely
Ashley
had,
V, dog.
Hey,
That's what he got.
she is
she's dipped.
the
boy.
preeminent celebrity.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had definitely over the years. I mean, obviously, like the people that we work with, that we collaborate. So the Damn Gina shirt that we did, that one got a lot of. I think
Did you get a picture of Martin Lawrence?
Jordan Peele wore it.
Oh, nice.
Gina from
Martin?
Tisha
the
Campbell.
yes, Tisha Campbell.
She's wearing
She
it?
has a license plate frame, I believe. 'Cause she posted on Instagram, which was pretty cool.
You think Tootie would have that? Like Tootie don't want to be called Tootie.
I think somebody else had that one too. Oh, Questlove had it.
Hey, the damn Gina one.
Yes, the Damn Gina. We've had like T.I.'s. I think he wore the gold-blooded. Somebody else wore the gold-blooded that is
He can't even
escaping
keep up.
me.
No.
Can't even keep up.
And then Twitch from the Ellen Show.
The
who Twitch
DJ.
is? Yeah.
Not that I watch
I
Ellen.
mean, he's not originally from Ellen, but he's now.
He's also a dancer.
Yes, he's a.
Not that I watch
dancer,
Ellen,
yes.
but you know.
I think he wore different various like football and stuff, baseball players and stuff.
Do you send him shit?
We don't. So we do not send people
bought
stuff.
it.
I have
Really?
I have a strict rule about sending people
Page
stuff.
7 on the website, he bought that shit.
So my thing is like I don't. It's like if you send someone something, they're not they don't really necessarily like it because you're just giving it to them.
Oh.
And I get it, right? Because if they do wear it, it's good marketing. But it's like, if you're wearing my stuff, I want you to actually like it. I mean, even my family members and friends, I say, don't buy my shirt because you're my friend. Buy my shirt because you actually like it. I'm not going to be offended if you don't buy it. Yeah. Like, I want people to actually
want it and wear it.
And want it, right? Yeah. So using that as a guide, I don't typically send artists and stuff product. Ooh. If they ask for it, I will send it to them.
If they ask for it.
If they ask for it, yeah.
If they ask for it.
That's kind of the way that I do it. But
what should we ask for, guys?
I mean, to get an IG photo of you would be, that's all I need right now. I just need to get to the next.
You will get 2 more followers after.
He's wearing a shirt with no bottom.
Hey man, hey, we're gonna get double digits on it. At least 12. Yeah, at least 12.
11.
Damn. Have you ever taught any classes of, like, you know, mentoring, like going back to your school, be like, hey, you know, cause
yes, I have.
So explain that process. Or I'm sorry, not the process, but what schools have you reached out to, or reached out to you?
So the coolest one was probably Davis. So I actually went back when I was at Apple, probably in 2008, maybe. They asked me to come back to speak to the design class, which was it was a huge honor because, I mean, that's the class I graduated in. Like, all my teachers were there. I really, you know, I loved and respected them. And I got to talk to the class and basically talk about, you know, working at Apple, starting a clothing company, just giving guidance. Like, I mean, I didn't really know that much at the time, but it was nice to be able to do that, right? And then, you know, I've spoken with, like, different, you know, my high school, the high school that I went to. I've spoken there a few times. Just
do you think he's more famous than Mr. Miyagi now?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
At Marina,
he is a legend. But
he is a legend.
Yeah, you know, it's cool to imbue knowledge upon the youth, as I would say, because, you know, so the main reason too is that it's what I wish that I could have had.
That mentorship.
Starting the brand, I didn't know anybody in the industry. I didn't know about shipping. I didn't know about manufacturing. I didn't know about anything. And it is good to be forced to learn those things. And I probably wouldn't necessarily have had the same path if I had been given all that stuff. But at the same time, you could cut out a lot of, like, if I had known the best ways to ship a shirt, it would have saved me 3 years of, like, saving on shipping, right? There's just, I mean, there's certain things that, exactly, dropping it off. There's certain things that you wish you kind of knew if you had the right people. So,
but it's all part of the growing process.
Yeah, it is all part of the growing process. So there's a give and take, right? So you don't want to give them too much to where they're just going to be lazy, but at the same time, you give them a little help. You know, at least the right directions to take. Exactly. So it is rewarding to do that kind of stuff.
A reminder that, hey, gold-blooded is trademark.
Exactly. Do not fuck with my shit.
What would be like, with that being said, what would be like a gem you would give to anyone wanting to start a brand, clothing, any kind of content, anyone new in business? Like, one thing you could take away from your 17 years experience as of your brand.
So as it pertains, so typically, you know, people will ask regarding starting a clothing company because obviously that's what I do. So the main thing that I say when you're starting, and I don't know if you guys agree with this, but always be super conservative at first, because what happens is people get, it's like, you know, they post, hey, I'm starting a brand and these are my designs, right? And it's like all your friends and family are like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like, this is so cool. I'm going to support you, whatever. But when it comes down to producing the product, like, once you exhaust that inner network, like, you're starting from scratch. So you don't really have a channel with which to sell clothing. It's a little different now because of, like, I guess you could buy Instagram ads and sort of do stuff right out of the gate, but
that's what makes it easy for people now, right?
Right. And it's like, but even at the same time, I mean, you're competing against 500 other people that are doing the exact same thing. So
ripped apparel.
Right. So I always would take the conservative approach in the sense that assume nobody wants your shit. And if people prove you otherwise, then great. But if you're going to print 150 pieces of 4 different designs out of the gate, you're going to be having Sterilite bins full of stuff in your living room. You're not going to sell it.
Yeah.
Because everybody gassed you up and said that you're amazing, right? All your friends and all your family. But, I mean, that's not the open market. That's not the public. That's your friends, right? So I always tell people, don't get too caught up in what people tell you initially. Like, let the open market prove if your stuff is good, because this is not for everyone, right? And, you know, it's tough love sometimes if maybe you're not cut out for the business, and it's going to show if nobody's buying your stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Because you can move on to the next thing.
Exactly.
But you do need to have an honest sort of opinion of your stuff, which is, so I usually say just be a little bit conservative at first and be proven wrong, because you can always print more stuff, you know, so.
I have 9.
Pre-orders is a blessing.
Pre-orders is absolutely a blessing.
Pre-order
Keep that inventory low. Yeah.
Exactly. You're not in a business to sit on T-shirts, so you don't want to be that warehouse sale.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, pre-order is a must. Phil, any questions for the man, Mr. Lester here? Mono.
We need to have a part 2 for sure.
Yeah. No, he has gems. Mono.
Yeah, being in the fashion industry, not your brand and not shoes, whether it's a hat, clothes, a hoodie, pants. Is there something that's just like some hypey fire shit that you just will not wear, and you're like, I'm gonna keep this in my closet wrapped in plastic, I'm never gonna wear it? Is there you got anything like that?
Ooh.
Personal items, right?
Yeah.
Talking about personal effects.
Not your brand, maybe
Not you.
someone else's brand, and not shoes.
Bet you got
And not shoes.
And not shoes, because everyone has those Nikes they don't ever want to wear.
Okay, so I have recently been acquiring some cyber-tech stuff.
Oh,
Holy shit!
from the 112 video.
No, and from fucking
Absolutely.
Aaliyah video.
You know, and the Allure video. They were all rocking the suit. All rocking the suit.
Hey, Cybertech.
You should have wore that here.
That's like 94, 95.
So the hard part is not acquiring it. The hard part is that it actually fits you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because you know the large back in the day is like a double or triple X now. Like it's all oversized. So you actually have to get the real small sizes actually. But I do love the size. Yeah, that's been recently. I've kind of been delving into the archives a little bit.
Wait, did you really find the jacket from the 112 video?
I didn't. Okay, so the one that has the reflective on the front,
yeah,
I did not.
It's like an
I did not
anorak or
find that
some
in my size. They are available, but I did not find my size. So I found a different one that's kind of cool.
What about that Wu Wear puff jacket that zipped all the way up and it zipped her like crazy? Do you remember what I'm talking about? There was a Wu Wear puff jacket.
You know, I wasn't a big fan of the Wu Wear stuff. I mean, I love Wu, of course, but
not the wear.
Some of the wear was not my favorite.
It wore thin.
Wear there.
But yeah, there's so many great brands from back in the day, though. I mean, even all the vintage, like Tommy and the Polo stuff, like I love all that stuff. I wish they would just reissue it in the modern cuts. Like, I don't understand why
Snow
they
Beach
don't do that.
did, right?
They did, but that's just one limited. I mean, there's so much. There's such a huge catalog of stuff they could do, and it will sell.
Yeah,
it will definitely. If they update the cuts, it will sell. It's like you got to go to the vintage shops and all that stuff. So.
What about shoes? What's your one shoe that you have?
So my Grail.
Grail, yeah.
Hello.
Let's talk about your shoe.
My Grail is the alphanumeric dunks. Are you guys aware of those?
I am not.
So they were the first. No, they were the second collaborative. So they were, I think, the first or second collaborative SB dunk.
Okay.
So, you know how dunks broke off into the SB when Nike skateboarding was starting. So it was the early 2000s, and that was he's got it right there. But so there's 2 colorways. I recently acquired them in a really funny story.
Right there, the gray ones?
The gray ones or the white ones?
Both.
Gray.
Oh yeah, both of them.
So,
my bad.
but the cool thing about the white ones is it's
3M, right? Is that 3M?
it's 3M, and then they also use the grip tape. It's actually the grip tape material for like a skate deck.
How'd you acquire them?
I acquired them.
By having 9 pages
eBay.
from Adapt.
Shouts to Flip It SF.
Brandon.
Brandon,
Shout out to
exactly.
Brando.
He sort of helped me make that happen. But it just so happens that the original owner of these dunks is Mike Brown.
Hello.
Yeah.
True,
so
my
it was an interesting little story. Yeah. So I hit him up. I'm like, dude, you got to come check out because I didn't realize at the time there were certain indicators that showed that it was his. So it was a cool little. We had a nice little chat about that. But those are definitely the grails for me. I'm not really a sneaker head per se. I collect 90s. I love 90s, and just there are certain shoes that I acquire from my youth. Question lows.
Ooh.
Jordan 12s.
Shit we couldn't afford as kids.
Stuff that I
Yeah.
exactly. It's all the stuff that I wanted that I couldn't
That
get.
people have, like you said, question lows. I was like, oh yeah. The red top or the blue tops?
The question. Oh, the reds. I had to have the reds. Yeah, the red was for me.
Go bloody blah.
They re-released them I think in 2016 or something,
Yeah,
but I didn't acquire them at the time.
Still couldn't afford that.
Yeah, so there are certain items that I pick and choose, but I'm not. I would not call myself a sneakerhead. I don't know nearly enough to, I think, deserve that title. So I just know what I like. Yeah.
What about toy? Just ending it real quick. What about toy?
Toys?
It could be any level of toy.
So I'm really into Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
So there's this thing called HasLab. So Hasbro owns Transformers, and they do HasLabs, which is essentially a Kickstarter for toys. And there's this thing called Unicron, which is the villain. Transformers the movie.
From the movie, yeah.
Yes, the OG movie, my favorite movie of all time. And he's this monster planet that eats other planets in the Transformers universe. And they're dropping this 27-inch Unicron that's like crazy articulation. It's insane.
You're kind of excited about it.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited.
little
It
bit,
ships
just a little
in spring, I think, of 2021, so I gotta wait a year. But
2021. So you pre-ordered a year ago.
so the pre-order ended probably six months ago, maybe.
Did you pre-order?
Yeah, of course you did.
Yeah, I had to cop two. So one to rock, one to stock. You know how we do.
Like you said, you like what you like.
That's gonna go in a little lucite cabinet, So
That's gonna go in a fucking time capsule.
well, because I gotta keep one transform in both modes, right? So you gotta have the figure mode and then the planet mode.
Do you open your toys?
It depends. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, I'm not super like that with the toys.
I'm 40-year-old version
I just don't
with my
have space.
toys.
Are you?
Real 40-year-old version with my shit.
I have some like,
All right.
like
Wow.
Give a fuck.
I mean, it's
Yeah, that's where
it just
is.
takes up space though. That's the thing.
True.
It's the storage of it, really.
That explains everything.
I hoard a lot. It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, like, yes, I agree. I mean but I mean we're allowed. I mean, in the clothing industry, I feel like I'm allowed to hoard clothes because I make so. But it's yes, we all have our little vices there, I think.
With that said, Evan Lessler, Adapt Clothing. What's the website?
AdaptClothing.com, Instagram @Adapt,
9
Twitter
pages of
@Adapt.
Twitter's at Adapt.
Yes, Twitter @Adapt. Yeah.
You don't got a blue check mark. They fucking with you.
I know. What's up with that? I don't think I have enough followers.
That one's
Yeah,
dope.
so this is our... Because that popped up, your dad is the only one that...
Hey! Wow. I
When
appreciate
that
that.
came out, I was like...
I really appreciate that. Because, we all get it. So you gotta be selective about what you get.
Very.
Yeah, this one, this was actually suggested by a homie of mine
That's a good one.
to flip the logo and it's like 5 letters, couple letters are the same, so it kind of made sense. Right there.
Episode 60, Free99 podcast. Shout out to Mono, shout out to Phil.
Thanks for
Shout out to the
having
homie
me, guys.
F8. Part
Really
2
appreciate
soon?
the time. Let's do it. Yeah.
Free99, Adapt Clothing. All right.